How's it going? Welcome back to Let's Automate This. This is Anthony Virgo. Just giving you an update on the AI journey and what's going on in my life and what's going on with the AI. Currently, I am in Philadelphia at my brother's house, so just really catching up with him, letting him know what's going on, and he's catching up with me and I'm catching up with him, vice versa. So, big milestone in my AI journey. I know in the last video I mentioned me getting an AI contract. It's really fruitful right now. I'm excited about it. I like what I'm doing. I like the team. They're very transparent, and it gave me a lot of hope, to be honest with you. It's something that I'm building a skill while basically I'm building a skill and I'm getting paid while doing it. So that's like a win-win in my book, because the skill that I'm doing, the AI stuff, is something that I wasn't learning prior to an AI, but I'm getting to learn it now. Of course, I had like some of the experience when it comes to like prompt engineering and stuff like that, but we're doing a whole lot of things on the back end that it's helping me see. It's just helping me see things differently and acquire a different skill that I can now put out there into the universe and let people know that I'm doing. And then also, I got asked to do my first speaking engagement. It's gonna be in New York, in Manhattan, an event called AI for Science. And pretty much we're just gonna be diving deep on AI in different industries and the benefits of it. Talking really about AI safety, AI acceleration, and a bunch of things like that. So I'm excited. That's happening on February 17th. And it's gonna be from 4 to 6 p.m. in Manhattan. And I'm excited, man. I'm just grateful that I was even asked to do this, because as y'all know, my AI journey really just started. I'm really getting the ball rolling. I'm really starting to get the experience that I need. And then just based on the content that I've been putting out, on here, to the community that I'm building, and then on LinkedIn, I was asked to pretty much give a live demo of a voice agent and how it could benefit the healthcare industry. I've done a demo like that already on my YouTube, but I'm gonna talk a little bit more in depth. I'm gonna talk about it from the perspective of a care coordinator or a provider, really creating a scenario. Ideally, I want to go in there and have just a live conversation. I want to be interactive. I don't want to just demo an agent and that's it. As y'all know, I have a sales background, a marketing background, so I'm into, getting the juices flowing, letting people know me, but also letting them know how exciting this thing could be for them as well. So I'm excited. My first speaking engagement in New York for AI, and who would have thought? You know what I mean? Like, it's just a milestone. Who would have thought? Like, me just, doubling down, staying positive, staying focused. I know I have my days. Y'all see me on the YouTube in these AI journey where I'll be up and down, but as y'all can see, a lot of things are happening in a short amount of time, and I am excited about it. So I'm just gonna double down. I'm gonna triple down. I'm gonna, just keep working, keep learning. I was gonna sit on here and talk about the whole Claude bot stuff and all that, which is exciting. If you guys don't know, I suggest you do your own research on what is Claude bot. But pretty much we're in a time right now where AI is controlling AI. AI is understanding itself, it's creating its own personality, it is doing tasks on its own. And this is why I keep saying people need to pay attention. People need to understand what's going on, because last week, Twitter, which is X now, went crazy. Everyone was talking about it. I'm pretty sure your YouTube algorithm, if you're on the AI YouTube algorithm, something about Claude bot popped up and you probably watched the video. And I was gonna sit down and dissect it and talk about it as well, but I haven't fully dived into it in terms of a builder perspective or me playing around with it as of yet. But just so you guys can understand it, and from what I know is, this what was created is changing the industry. It shook up the industry in a large way. I believe a developer out of Australia made it come to life. But pretty much you have AIs performing tasks while you sleep. So you could let an AI create a software, reply to emails, create images, make an app for you all on its own, and it will perform that task. So much so that on these platforms, the AI has created their own social media app, social media community where they're interacting with each other. And this is what I'm saying, like, we're in the age of Mega Man, or whatever you want to call it, whatever this is. We're in the age where we're gonna have personal agents out there doing things for us. And it's exciting, but people are so afraid of it as well. People are having horror stories of the AI actually taking over their laptops and computers and just running off and doing whatever they want. The AI is actually creating images of themselves, so their human knows what they look like. It's fascinating. It's one of those things where you know things are about to change, but you don't know how. And all I can say is, if you're watching this video, if you're watching any type of videos on AI, I suggest that you do your own due diligence. You learn about this stuff. You become an expert as much as possible. Because although I sit on this page and talk about voice AI and creating voice AI agents, that's just maybe the entry barrier level of this thing. It's getting interesting what these people are doing, what these companies are doing, and you should follow the money. You should see that a lot of these big companies, government, are throwing so much money in AI, it's not even funny. So from building AI itself to AI infrastructures, right? Data centers. All of these things are important to know, because we're going into what labor is going to look like in a few years, right? What is labor really going to look like? If you're not running a service business, right? I think it's going to take a while before robots are actually doing things on our behalf. I think someone said 10 to 15 years. But let's think about the next 3 to 5 years right now. What your day-to-day, if you're a engineer, if you're a content creator, if you're a underwriter, if you're a marketer, if any of these type of businesses, they're not gonna last long. Someone's gonna be creating agents to do that stuff. I can't wait for the big story about an agent getting hired at a company to do X, right? Or agents, right? Or agent. Someone's probably going to create a team of agents or a brand of agents that does something specific for a specific industry. And we're going to hear that these agents are getting salary, right? This is where everything is shifting, right? Now I understand cryptocurrency. I didn't really understand it before of like how these things are. Now I understand it, because this thing is shifting into a whole different dimension that physically we're not going to be there, but it's going to be impacting us on the outside. And call it what you want. Call it the Matrix. Call me a conspiracy theorist. That's not even that. I'm just learning this stuff, and I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it happen in it's happening in real time, but a lot of people aren't paying attention to it. So in my journey, I just want to give game. I just want to let people know what I'm experiencing, what I'm seeing, and giving my thoughts on things. Because had I not been going down this route or this path, I wouldn't have no idea. I wouldn't even have an opinion on most of these things. But me having fresh eyes, me coming from the background that I have, I'm seeing this. I feel like I'm able to predict the next steps. And anybody who's paying attention is able to predict the next steps. Like, it's almost seeing human nature adapt, right? Once we have agents that are able to, so we're in this remote world, right? We're in a remote environment for the most part. A lot of people have remote jobs. A lot of people who have remote jobs are being laid off. Let's not forget about that. That is a true thing, and it's happening. And a lot of remote work is a lot of people getting laid off. Even a lot of people who are going into the office are getting replaced by AI. That is happening, but it's not necessarily that they're getting replaced by AI. It's just the old way of doing something is outdated. So you're gonna have to learn how to use AI to win in this new industry that we're getting in. So let's talk a little bit about the contract that I recently signed. Again, I'm not going to go into details because I did sign the NDA, but the onboarding process was something 1000% different than what I'm used to, right? When you get a job, when you get a job, you're used to having an interview with someone, maybe having a second round, a third round interview. Then they present you with an offer. You either go back and forth with the offer, you accept it, then they onboard you, and you start to work at the office. Maybe they fly you to the office, or you travel to the office just to meet people, become interactive. They give you, maybe a stipend, or maybe they give you certain equipment so you can start to do work. They did none of that and all of that at the same time. When I mean, they did all of this onboarding process in a matter of maybe a day and a half. And that's why I was so skeptical about it, because I'm like, how are we gonna do this like this? But it is happening because a lot of the stuff has been stripped down and put into like a virtual setting, to where people are gonna be moving and operating on their own time. That's who I think the big companies and the big players are gonna be. The companies that are able to reduce labor but still have a high output, they're gonna be the ones winning. And it's interesting to see, but again, I'm happy. There's a lot going on in my AI journey. I'm going to keep on doing videos like this, keep on doing tutorials, keep on pushing out content. Make sure you follow me on LinkedIn, Anthony Virgo. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Like, it's February right now. I'm interested in what I'm going to be talking about in June and July. And if you're watching this video, I say you do your own research, you do your own, double down on this thing, learn as much as possible. Don't just read the news, learn for yourself, and then have an opinion. So I'm Anthony Virgo. Let's automate this.